So we are all special for different reasons. We have different hair, we have different friends, but we're still all special, aren't we? One more quick thing, Imogen. Well, not right now, because I'm going to read you a story about somebody that was special, and we're going to see why he was special. So I want you to look at these pictures, and the title of this story is The Ugly Duckling. So you're going to look at the pictures while I read the story to you. Mother duck sat on her eggs. She waited and waited. Suddenly something moved. The eggs were beginning to hatch. One by one, the ducklings pushed out of their fragile shells. One by one, the ducklings looked at their mother for the first time. Mother duck looked at them too. Most of the ducklings were small, yellow, and fuzzy, but one duckling looked different. He was bigger than the others, his feathers were gray, and his neck was long. Can you see which one's different there? One of them is different. I've never seen a duckling like you, my dear, Mother Duck said. You are certainly different, but I love you just the same. So let's see what happens here. The gray duckling was sad. The other duck, oh, let me go back here. That's the wrong one. Here we are. You know what? I want you two to go ahead and mute so that we can, because I'm hearing some distractions, so that way you guys can hear this really good story. Good. So, follow me, sweet ducklings, Mother Duck said. Then she hopped in the pond, and the ducklings followed. Mr. and Mrs. Frog saw the ducks swim by. The two frogs were proud parents of new baby tadpoles. You see the frogs? Mother Duck's new ducklings are as cute as our tadpoles, except for that last one. Uh-oh, said Mrs. Frog. You're right, said Mr. Frog. That is an ugly duckling. Mother Duck led the ducklings away. She did not want the ducklings to hear what the frog said, but it was too late. The gray duckling had heard the frogs. Is it true, Mother? Am I an ugly duckling, he asked. You are beautiful, said Mother Duck. You are big and strong, and you will surely do well. I am proud of all my ducklings. Don't listen to those silly frogs. The gray duckling wanted to believe Mother Duck, but it was hard. Everywhere he went, the animals reminded him that he was strange. What an odd duck, they said. Uh-oh.
And then our new letter.
What do you think odd means? What do you think that means, to be odd?
Yeah, it's like you're putting up one finger.
It means to be different, doesn't it? They were saying he was different, and he was different. But let's see.
There you go.
Let's look at this one. So, let's see what happens. The gray duckling was sad. Other ducklings never invited him to play with him. He was alone. There must be something wrong with me, thought the gray duckling. I do not belong. That night, while the duck family was sleeping, the gray duckling quietly wandered away. He floated down a stream. He saw many new places. He gathered information about other animals and the world around him. But this did not help him. He still felt alone. Then one day he saw a group of beautiful white swans with long necks flying in the sky. What beautiful birds, thought the gray duckling. If only I could fly away, maybe I could find a home where I belong. The air grew chilly as fall came. Then it was winter. The ponds and the streams froze. The gray duckling was often hungry and cold. Ooh, that wouldn't be very good, was it?
Listen, Lamantas, to see how we do it, okay? You don't have to have the paper. That's okay.
I wonder how he's going to solve this problem. He's cold and hungry. Let's see what happens in the last page. At last, winter became spring. One day, the duckling saw several beautiful white swans splashing in a distant pond. They were the same birds with long necks that he had seen flying months before. Ooh, he thought, I want to swim and play too. I don't want to be alone anymore.
Number 3.
The duckling stretched his wings. He felt stronger and bigger than before. Without even trying, he flew into the air, and it felt wonderful to fly. The duckling flew to the pond, and the white swans gathered around him.
In the box, okay?
I know I'm ugly and different, started the duckling. What? You're not ugly, said one of the swans. You are beautiful. We are here to welcome you.
See that?
The duckling looked at his reflection in the water, and for the first time, he saw they were right. He was beautiful. He was a beautiful white swan, just like them. At last, he found a place where he belonged. The end.
Are you Elias?
Wow. So, this was a neat story about how he could be different, but he could still be special.
Eloy?
So let's look at the first picture. How is he different than the other mother's ducklings? If you can tell me, hit your space bar and you can tell me the answer. How is he different in this picture than the others?
Oh, you're on mute.
Rosalind, go ahead and hit your space bar.
You're on mute. Can you tell me your name?
Imogen too. So how is he?
He wasn't actually a duckling.
He wasn't. And how does he look different, Imogen?
Tell me.
Because he's not a duckling and he's not like the others.
He's not.
He's too big because the other ones are small.
He's bigger than them. Is he the same color?
How many yellow dots?
He's not the same color, so he does look different, isn't he? How many of the ducklings are yellow?
So we're going to circle the number 2.
3 ducklings are yellow, aren't there?
This is
Mm.
not the number 2.
So very good. So let's see. So that's what happened. Let's look at the next one.
Number 2.
So she tells
Yes.
the gray duckling that he's beautiful. Why do you think it's hard for him to believe that he's beautiful?
Okay, do that and then flip your paper over like a piece.
Were the other animals nice to him?
And we'll do the back side.
No. So that made it hard for him to know he was beautiful, didn't it? Because they were not very nice. He was different, but he's still beautiful, right? And that's what his mom was telling him. And the other animals were not being very kind, were they? And so why did he go ahead and leave his family then? Why did he leave him, do you think? Oh, what happened to Rosalind? We're missing her. Why did he leave him?
Yes, it is.
There you are. What happened? We missed you.
Number 1.
He left because he was alone, wasn't he? He felt lonely because people weren't being very nice to him.
Eloy and Elias, can you circle the number 1?
And what does he become at the end of the story?
Picture.
What is he now?
Good job.
Go ahead and unmute yourself, Rosalind.
How many?
He's a swan.
He's a swan. Imogen, is he happy now?
Yeah.
He is happy.
Swans are very sensitive to family.
Very good. That is why he's happy, because people were inviting him. You girls were listening very well. I love it. We needed some stickers for that, definitely. So that story talks about how he was special even when he was different. But now he feels better because he knows where he belongs. That was nice. That was a really good story. So now, did you bring your little book with you? Did you both bring this? Did you bring this book with you?
Is that it? Is that it? Is this?
Mommy's gonna get the counting
This
letter book.
one's the 4, yes.
Is it Wednesdays?
Make sure you circle that.
It should be Wednesdays.
Here. Look up here. See the 4?
Yeah, I was just wrong.
That's okay.
You circle.
Okay, your counting letters book is the one we have Wednesdays.
Okay.
I have the counting letter book.
Good. Do you have it, Rosalind?
You guys did a good job with them.
No, I don't.
You don't? Well, you can follow along with us,
I
okay?
think so, though. I think so.
You think so? Here it comes.
To read a book.
So yes, every day for small group, the things that have this.
Yes, I do have my
Okay, good. And then you should have a math paper too, but we're going to do our counting letters right now.
Follow along, okay? Since you don't have your packet yet.
Okay, are we ready?
Okay.
This is the title of the book. Put your fingers up on these words and say counting letters. Counting letters. And this is the front of the book, and this is the back cover of the book. So everybody say front cover
front cover.
We're gonna
and back cover.
read this, okay? It's called
Good job. Rosalind, am I hearing you? Say front cover. And back cover. Rosalind, you can unmute because there's only 2 of us, so we can hear you. You can unmute.
Look and see.
And inside this book,
There's a title
it
page.
does have a title page.
It has
Look at that.
the
The title page says counting letters. Everybody say this is the title
We're gonna read
page.
this together. Ready, boys?
This is the title page.
Yep.
One
So here we go.
letter.
So now,
Your turn, you say.
remember, we start, when we're reading, we always start at this side, and there's a dot for each of you. Rosalind, you have your book there ready?
No, I don't have
Say I.
It should be in the stack of books that you have. We put them in order. So you have a rubber band stack of books.
The word two, the word I. Say.
It should be the 3rd book. Okay. Watch us, Rosalind. Are you ready, Imogen? I'm going to read it, then you're going to read it. Watch how I read it. 1 letter. Now you read it, Imogen.
You're doing great.
letter.
I love the way you're using your finger to point.
Say that.
Now we're going to turn it around, turn it to the next one. We're going to read this one. 2 letters.
2 letters, boys.
2 letters.
Good.
Thank you.
Then we have 3 letters.
2
Three-
letters here.
three
1, 2.
Good.
Yum.
Then we go to the next one. Now you have it. We'll wait for you to catch up, okay?
3 letters.
Oh,
Your turn.
I
Repeat
already
it. Say
You already did, didn't you? Look at you. You're fast. Okay, so now we're on this page, and I'm going to say
What's she
4 letters.
What's she doing that's fun?
And then we move over to this page, say 5 letters.
5 letters.
Now what do we do? If we read this page, what do we have to do now?
It's a game. She's bowling.
We have to turn the page, don't we? You turn 1 page when you're reading, and then we say 6 letters.
Letters.
Say 4 letters.
6 letters.
Good. And then we say 7 letters.
Time.
7 letters.
Are you pointing to the words as you say them, Rosalind? Make sure you're pointing.
5.
And the last page changes it up. There's 3 words on here, and it says 7 great words.
And it says
7 great words.
March.
7 great words.
Yeah.
7 great words.
Very good. They were using those letters to make words. It has our, can you guys find our new word in there? The very first one is our new word, isn't it? What word is that? Everybody say I.
Manners, you're polite.
Yes. And it says, I am fun, kind, smart, polite, and helpful.
Oh.
Good. But there's our new word. Everybody point to it. Say I.